Hello.
Good evening. So I've just had a look at Facebook, and apparently this live is starting in 39 seconds.
Ah,
Ah,
is it now?
it is indeed, yeah.
Ah, so it
So,
is.
so it is indeed. So
It
just
is
count
cool.
down for a little bit. Are you all right this Saturday evening?
I am Saturday night and we're both at home. And oh, look, here's Lynn Peters. Lynn, she's finally able to watch. She's not going to work.
No work for Lynn. Hello, Lynn.
Well, I hope not. She's here anyway.
Yeah, for the next 10 minutes, she'll be like, gotta go to work.
Yeah,
Love her.
that's what
We do
normally
love our
happens.
Lynn.
Bless her.
Adorable.
Who
Oh,
else
three
have we
seconds.
got?
We're about to get Facebook.
We have got some other people watching. Not tonight, she says. She's not going to work. She's with us. She's with us for the whole thing tonight.
Oh, I'm very glad. What's going
Ah.
on here? I can't see any comments. It's not loading.
Oh, that's weird.
How are people watching? Are people watching on Facebook? Are they watching via StreamYard? How are people watching?
Are they watching the YouTube channel?
Ah,
Sarah Bowker's in the house. Hi, Sarah. She's put hi,
very
Karen.
good.
Hi, Rachel.
Evening.
So,
Who are
we've got a few other people
there.
here, but no one's commenting. So, let us know who you are. Say hello.
I found it. I can see
it's
us.
Roberto.
That man. Roberto. So, have our speakers arrived yet? Are they here yet?
They are here. They have arrived.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a treat for you tonight. So we'll bring you somebody or maybe some people who you may not have heard of before, but we had a recommendation from a speaker this year and said you absolutely have to get these guys in. They're incredible. They're blowing up America. They're doing some fantastic things. You absolutely have to meet them. So I spoke to them and I fell in love with them instantly. So we've had to bring them. So we'll give you a couple of clues as to who they might be. You may have seen them on social media. You may have seen them on TV. They're doing quite a bit. So one of them is a author, podcaster, bit of a tech guru, and the other guest is a paranormal investigator, para-unity advocate, and also all-around legend and ITC expert. So, should we bring them in, Karen? Because I can't wait.
I know, me either, because I haven't met them yet. This is my first meeting, so
They're lovely. They're so lovely. They're just brilliant, and they're gonna fit in perfectly.
Okay, are you going to announce who they are, or are we just going to bring them on?
Yep. So if you bring them on, and I'll announce who they are. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Good evening.
Oh, hi, ladies.
Hello. Hi.
How are
you
you?
both doing?
Good. Thank you.
Thank you for the glowing introduction.
We're so excited. So for people watching, if you don't mind, I'll just do a quick introduction. So we have Ron and we've got Lourdes, and you guys are from America, aren't you? So just to double check, because I know that we've been advertising there was somebody British coming, but you're definitely not British. So
I know, I did change it.
So would you like to introduce yourselves? Do you want to tell the UK who you are?
Hey, Thomas. Absolutely. Ron Iacovetti, Lourdes Gonzalez. We are in New Jersey in the United States. This is an honor for us to be included in this festival. One of the huge parts to us, you mentioned we do ITC, is that the method that we have been blazing a path with, we call Staticom, started from direct radio voice. And for direct radio voice, that's not an American phenomenon. It's not even really on TV up until a year ago when it's going to come out. We filmed an episode of Deathwalker with Nick Groff. It's not really been seen here. Everything is synonymous with ghost boxes and spirit boxes in ITC in America. So Staticom is direct radio voice with two differences. We're using a white noise generator for the source of the white noise, removing the radio. That's why we changed the name. And we're doing everything audio phenomenon when recorded does in review in the moment of contact. We're denoising it. We're slowing it down. We're doing amplification, everything to make the conversation happen in the moment.
That's right. So there's no radio. We eliminated the radio. We started off with the radio, but then through experiments and things like that, we realized that most likely the predominant use where the voices come in is with the white noise. So we decided to eliminate the radio and just use a white noise generator and filter it real time. So that's what we've been doing.
That's incredible. It's so amazing. And I've spoken to a few people that have worked with you, and they're all completely blown away by the results that you're getting. I've been fortunate enough as well to see hear some of the feedback that you've had. I don't know what's going on. I've got feedback in my ears,
We've
actually.
got feedback from you, Rachel.
know.
Just as you're
Sorry.
saying about feedback, you're giving us feedback.
I know. Just because you can't hear enough of me, that's all it is. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got it. So I've been fortunate you sent through a few clips as well, and it's just outstanding. I've never heard anything so clear and incredible ever. So what got you into this journey? You know, where did this start for you?
Well, for me, when I started doing paranormal investigating, I lived in Los Angeles. And if you know the actor Chad Lindbergh from the Fast and Furious movies, he did a show with John L. Tenney. So I did the Glen Tavern Inn and watched him, after 30 people introduced themselves on a Spirit Box SB7, say, "And I'm Chad," last to introduce. And a voice went, "I know Chad." And I was like, whoa, what is he using? How did that happen? So I was hooked on real-time contact on ITC. Flash forward, for the last 20-something years, ghost box builders are the forefront of the ITC movement. I'm not a builder. If I was soldering things, I would be high-fiving you with fewer fingers. So we went on a journey for other methods and things, and we came across, and this is the homecoming for us with this methodology going to Europe, is we found direct radio voice, which was made famous by Marcello Bacci in Grosseto, Italy, who I still talk to, Dr. Annabelle Cardoso, who sat with the pioneers of EVP, Friedrich Jurgensen, Konstantin Radove, Marcello Bacci. She knew Robin Foy, David Fontana, and she mentored me into direct radio voice. And then we got curious. We partnered with Tony and Sri Rathman in Arizona under Entity Voices Paranormal Investigations. And through an experiment Tony did, and through Lourdes's experimentation, when we were in a zinc mine below the surface of the earth with no radio signal, no cell signal whatsoever, and we got voices, we realized stochastic resonance with the white noise was how the voices come through, even on the ghost boxes. And we started what's now called the Staticom project. It was just to us, I think we're hoping to be the closest to Edison's phone to the dead that has been possible so far, but the method's European rooted, so we're excited to be able to bring this there.
That's why this is extra special for us. This is great.
Yeah, sort of coming back home a little bit.
Yeah, for the method for sure. And that's some of the low-hanging fruit that cynics have at ITC, is that you're getting maybe the voices, you're getting a radio. You're sweeping through radio bands. We're not using radio, and we're not sweeping whatsoever. We can't receive a signal. We can't record a signal. We're generating white noise on a closed circuit system and doing all of the review process of audio capture in the moment of contact, including, which to my knowledge in ITC had never been done before, slowing down the flow of pure created white noise. Now, the cool thing is that even if you don't understand all the voices at the time, white noise has a spectral frequency of 1, meaning the amplitude or power of all the frequencies within it, which is all we can hear, 20 hertz or 20,000 hertz, are equal. So variances should not be there. And then when they have the characteristics of consonants, vowels, diphthongs, the tonal depth of speech, the cadence of speech, and even the pacing of speech, it becomes a lot harder for someone who thinks all this stuff is caca, which is Spanish for caca.
And the emotional, you can hear the emotions behind some of the words.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I think I'm having some technical difficulties. I keep going black all the time. I don't know if anybody else is, or it's just me.
We haven't seen that.
But it's just you two making my phone spooky. So
just before we carry on, I just want to put some comments up.
Yeah.
We forget about the public sometimes. So let's
we do. We're very bad at that.
So Ruth sounds great. Aaronette's in. Evening, you beautiful ladies. Oh, here he is.
That's all 3 of you. Ah, look at this guy.
Mr. Darryl, hi.
He is a pleasure to work with. He's a brilliant investigator. For people who don't want to meet the celebrities they see on TV because they don't want to be disappointed, meet him, because he is the antithesis of the people who disappoint you when you meet them. He's so grounded, so down to earth.
He sets a really good example.
Yeah, we
He
met
really
him
does.
because he was at an event in South New Jersey, and we were invited by people attending and running the event, and we said, this is his deal. If he's okay with it, we'll come down. Otherwise, don't worry about it. And he was like, no, come on down. We got a chance to work with him. And then, it was just a phenomenal connection with him, and then the method worked. And so that's very cool to see him there. We
Yeah.
love that guy.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Daryl.
we
Daryl's-
spent, Rachel and I were very fortunate to spend a whole week with Daryl earlier this year.
We were
he wasn't
fortunate.
super-
He wasn't. No.
Yeah, I literally was about to say that. Yeah, we were the fortunate ones. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Bless him. He stuck with me and Rachel for a whole week, and we got to investigate with him, just the two of us as well. And that was, I don't know, I can't even describe it. It was mad. It was so interesting to see how he worked, for him to see how we worked. And Rachel and I hate filming. We don't like doing film, and it's not our thing. But we really did enjoy it. And all the public, he attended Festival of the Unexplained this year, and all the public that attended absolutely loved him. He's so inclusive with anybody and everybody, and he's just
Right.
a great guy. But
He
it's not
really
about
is.
Darren, it's about you guys. So let's get back
Yeah.
to you. We love you,
No.
Darren. Moving on.
That's right. Yep. Thomas Donahue's been with us at a few different events. I believe, was it Gettysburg, and then Massachusetts Paragon, and Massachusetts in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been
Thank you,
fortunate to be able to bring this around and share it with people. It's hard if this example makes sense. I call the ghost box or spirit box the Q-tip of the paranormal. Like a cotton swab is what you clean your ear with, but in the States at least, it's branded with Q-tip. People call the item the brand, and so ITC is branded with ghost boxes. And when we started introducing this to people, we had where do you get that box? How do I get that device? It's sweeping through what? It's not sweeping. It's not a box. It's not a device. It's a methodology. And we had to break ground. It was very salmon upstream against the current for a while. Then we removed the radio, which is like, all right, now we're just gluttons for punishment, because now it's not direct radio voice. Now we're calling it Staticom, which is like a whole, but it's pure white noise. And we think on a very basic, very tertiary level, this is how the spirit voices come through. And even with ghost boxes, by trade, Lourdes is a reporter for the courts. So she hears, when I say everything, like if I'm upset with her, she has to be out of the house or I won't say a word. Everything. And she started realizing, right, where the vocals come in, even with the ghost box, you saw what?
They either come in, well, with the ghost boxes and spirit boxes, the voices, either when I would hear responses, I would never hear it within the suite, the vocals of the radios, the stations. I would either hear it below the sweep or on top of the sweep, or as Ron says, replaces the sweep. So once we started doing direct radio voice, Staticom now, we realized that they're not using the sweep with the vocals. What they're using is the white noise within the sweep, and wherever it resonates is where you hear it below or it replaces the sweep.
Right. So the decibel levels that they're coming in at, if it resonates lower in the white noise, and those are the ones you have to listen to, that they're competing with the of the sweep. The ones that sound like they replace it, you don't even hear the anymore. You just hear the voice really loud. Those are either intersecting with the decibel level of the broadcast you're scanning through, or it's louder than it's resonating higher. And that's what stochastic resonance in this, we think works is, or inverse. If anything enters the white noise, and for us being a closed circuit system that goes right through filtration, there's no ambient contamination either. So anything that enters into it, if it matches one of those frequencies in the white noise, those two get bolder. The rest of the white noise, as I mentioned, spectral frequency of 1, the amplitude's even. So now you have a variance which is in the same characteristics of speech. Even with the ghost boxes, we think it works that way, but we feel that the sweeping through the broadband creates a brevity to the messages. It doesn't allow for the same openness that just availing them to the white noise does. So this conceptually is new, even to us as we started to discover it. But when we got voices under the surface of the earth in a zinc mine, when our partners Tony and Sri Rathman got voices using a sleep machine, which is pre-recorded white noise on a chipcorder. And Tony found out it was looping every 3 seconds because he asked a question and he got an answer from Spirit. And every 3 seconds, the same 3 words came through in front of a live audience, which I thought was kind of ballsy to
Wow.
do. But, you know,
Hmm.
you got to be a little bit crazy to be in this field, right?
It imprinted on the chip recorder. That's what happened. It imprinted on the chip recorder. So if it wasn't for it imprinting and saying the same answers every 3 seconds, he
Right.
wouldn't even have realized that the recording of the white noise was a 3-second loop. So we figured, all right, we can't use sleep machines because now that machine is done, those voices are always,
If it
they're
ever
always
happens.
there.
Yeah.
So we decided to go with a white noise generator that generates white noise in real time.
And for investigators, will identify this. If you've ever had like a bunch of people with digital recorders doing EVP and one person gets the voice, but people in the same proximity didn't, that's what happened to his sleep machine. Something imprinted the voice on the chipcorder and that machine's done. So, but it did show us that be able to receive a carrier wave or signal, which radio comes in at, and that these radios use, wasn't necessary to receive voices. And we're hoping that not only maybe breaking ground with Statacom and what we're doing, but also maybe restructure the thinking, because a lot of the ghost box stuff you see with ITC is conflicting information. People will buy the boxes and they will disconnect the antenna. Now, if the methodology is supposed to be sweeping through broadcast fragments that are randomized through the sweep, now you're taking away the fragments you're supposed to be sweeping. Why would you do that? And then, or they'll put it in a Faraday pouch and then run a little speaker wire out to a little external speaker. That little wire is now your antenna. So you've snipped it and then you've reestablished it
For no reason, yeah.
for the speaker. The irony part to me is that if you're getting rid of the vocal fragments from the radio broadcast by snipping or shielding the antenna, then what you're left is white noise and sweeping. So what is the strategic advantage to sweeping through pure white noise?
Especially because it's known that voices come in a very rapid speed sometimes.
Yep.
And so rapid that your ears can't even detect it. So if you're sweeping the white noise, it'll probably be almost near impossible to hear
Yep.
most of the voices.
Yeah, and that's historical through European researchers like Konstantin Radove, who had said that these vocals come in not only faster than we can detect them, they come in faster than the human vocal tract is capable of speaking. And that's where we had pioneered the idea of slowing down just live white noise. We did a location in Vernon, New Jersey, like 2 years or so ago, and I got what I believe was my mother and my grandmother. And in real time, all I heard was the word "on." And they had said my name. I asked, if you know who I am, go ahead and say it. There was this whole, like she mentioned before, this heartfelt message. You could hear the emotion in the
Yeah,
voice.
I love
I
it.
heard none of it in the moment because it came in so fast. At 50% slowed down, those voices on that recording sound like I am speaking now. I sounded intoxicated.
Yeah.
I assure you that happened hours later. It was not at that time.
He's not a drinker.
I was not hooked on tonics. I was not. But that's when we realized that these vocals are coming in faster. And even in through communications in the States, we have like cable television a lot of times comes through Verizon, which uses a service called Fios, which is sending data using light on glass, which is fiber optic, because it doesn't have the degradation of sound that metal has from heat and vibration. So you get a cleaner, stronger signal to your house for your television. But they slow it down to normal electrons when it gets to the home to process, because there are not computer chips in circulation right now that can process data at the speed of light. They can transfer it, they can't process it. There is, I think in New Zealand, a university that's experimenting with it. The obvious hindrance is that the thing overheats like crazy. So that's the challenge. But so we think that's what happens. We think either through 0-point energy or through photons of light and the wave functionality that the messages are somehow getting to where we are. And then we need to slow them down. And we're missing probably a lot of them up until that.
Right.
Do you know what? I was really scared about asking about about what it is that you do, because I'm always blinded by science, but I actually understood what you're talking about. Then it was great, so thank you.
Oh, believe it or
Honestly,
not, even I
honestly,
understood that saying something.
it is. Kara's like, oh, we're fully invested. It's great. So, we don't want to keep talking about we don't want to keep going on because we don't want to spoil it for people who've bought tickets, and so you're coming to do a chat with us.
Yes.
So just a couple of other things. You've just released another book, haven't you? Your fourth book, is it?
I have, yeah. The fourth book, Paranormalization, Memoirs of an Academic Layperson. There are some people in academia who feel that there's something called an academic layperson partition, which is the people who are involved in science, who have the masters and PhDs, who are actual scientists, know scientific method and protocol, but they are not the lion's share of the people who are aggregating the data in the research of paranormality or afterlife research. So if they don't work together, you have all the aggregation of data and you have all the methodology that's structured right, and they're separate.
Right.
I'm trying to, through what I do, because I do have a college degree in communications. I'm not a master's, but I do also, I study heavily everything from physics, sound, very much on consciousness. I think philosophy is completely missing from the paranormal field in a lot of areas. And I think that's why we have this neo-priesthood of scientists who we look at like infallible oracles who can do no wrong, when in actuality, if somebody's biased, if their area of study, if they're tenured at a certain university, whatever, and they don't want to speak on something, you're not getting genuine scientific methodology. You're getting a lot of times inductive inference when they're putting something out there like it's theory and it's not. Their paradigm or their view, their worldview is not shaped by the aggregation of data. It's using it to filter out what doesn't fit in it. And then we're not getting the broadest picture of everything that's out there through people who are doing paranormal research. If you look at where you guys are, where we are, other countries, the characteristics of audio capture alone is synonymous no matter who or where it's happening. And when you have reliability of data like that, because you have stability and consistency of data. So that is a lot of what the fourth book is getting into. It's very much looking at the field and what we accept as gospel and maybe shouldn't, and what we should question and collectively come together on.
That's amazing. You're so. I'm going to be else blinded by just how intelligent they are. I'm utterly blown away by it.
I know. It's quite scary.
Utterly blown away. We honestly, we really can't wait to have you here in the UK.
I think you
Have you
finally found someone to educate me.
Good luck. Good luck to you. Have you been to England before then? Have you been over to the UK before?
I've never been, but
I have one time. I did not get to see as much as I wanted to. I have a history also working in the fight industry. I worked in boxing and in the mixed martial arts or cage fighting industry. So I was in Wembley for a few days for a Cage Rage event that we were co-promoting, which was phenomenal. And I loved it. I did not get to see enough, and so I'm excited to be able to come back and spend time with people, see places, food, culture, a lot of what I did not. And when you do a sporting event for a couple of days, it is all encompassing. You're in the elevator or the lift, and you're still right. And I know that because of the place I stayed. Every floor it went up, it went, the lift is going up, the lift is going up. Every floor I went, I know, I pushed the button. It was but yeah, it's exciting, and it really does mean something to us because of the methodology of direct radio voice that we've turned into Statacom is rooted in European ITC research, and we're making it known here. We're spreading the word here, but it's rooted there. And I'm actually going to try my hardest to get Dr. Anabela Cardoso, who's in Spain. The person who created the term ITC was a German physicist named Ernst Jankowski. She knew him. The person who founded Direct Radio Voice, Friedrich Jurgensen, she knew him. I would love to get her to come over from Spain.
So hopefully she can
to come and meet us, because we've not met her in person before. But she's iconic. She is royalty in ITC, and I think people should know, especially if they're ITC people, they should know who founded it. The term was created in the 1990s. It's not as old as EVP.
It'd be amazing if she could come and join us at the festival, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna try like hard. She's changed my life. I would not be sitting here. We would not be doing what we're doing if it wasn't for her influence. I talk to her on the phone sometimes. She texts me from Spain. We've sent her stuff. She's looked at what we do. She's endorsed my first book. So yeah, we're just.
And she's so sweet.
Yeah. So thank you both. That's the most important part of this video call for us. Thank you both. Thank you also. Daryl is one of the people who mentioned us, for having us, because we're looking at the people who are going to be at The
Oh
event,
yeah.
Cindy Keza, amazing. Daniel Class, we just saw him at the Deathwalker premiere in Niagara Falls, New York. One of the kindest, most genuine people in the field. We love Dan. You have Dr. Kate Sherrill. We saw GTI, a Ghost Trip Investigation. They were just not, I don't know how long that was, but I saw a picture of those two guys in front of the Shanley Hotel in Napanoch, New York. That's an hour and a half from here. We're doing New Year's Eve at the Shanley Hotel this year.
That's like our second home.
Yeah, so
We
when I saw
love
those
Shanley.
guys were there, I was like, I can't wait to talk to them. And I also you have Danny Moss, whose body of work is extremely impressive. So you've put us in good company at a festival that is completely highly regarded and respected.
We're honored.
We're honored to be part of this. We
Oh,
really
thank
are.
you.
And
Thank you
we're
for
honored
agreeing to
you
join us.
requested and wanting to join us. You know, we really do appreciate it. And we've still got more people to announce.
I
We
know.
do.
I can't wait.
We do.
I know. Well, we're
Yeah,
already
we've-
blown away to be in the company we're in.
Oh, bless
Yeah,
you.
it's huge next year. That's all I'm trying not to say too much, but that's why I'm
No.
stumbling with my words a little bit. Yeah,
And for the
it's going to
people
be epic
coming,
next year.
we're bringing Staticom. So wherever we investigate, we're
Yes.
bringing Staticom. So you'll hear us speak, yes, and we'll share more details of method and theory and stuff that we think is happening. But we're going to run Staticom there, and that is always new,
Wow.
no matter what. How many times you've seen it? Or I could talk about it for the next 2 hours now. When you see it, and I won't, but I could. I'm chatty that way. The point is,
You're
If
in
you
good
haven't
company.
noticed.
the point is you want to come to the festival because when you see it live, there's nothing like hearing complete silence, even though you know there's white noise, and then somebody says, what am I doing, what am I asking about, whatever, and then a voice comes through and answers it out of pure white noise.
Or a loved one.
Or a
We
yeah.
get that a lot. That's one of the other things that I found fascinating and gratifying is that people have experienced their loved ones come through, and we've had people tell us that it's been life-changing for them.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. So
We started
yeah.
touring with an
Yeah.
event that we would call a digital seance initiative, which is essentially the same formality of a seance, very focused, attentive, because we would do direct radio voice at other events and people would be getting coffee, chatting, and the voices are coming through, which is phenomenal. And people are just like, I'm missing the whole thing. So we do a digital seance initiative event, and we could be at a historical location anywhere in the States, and people want to hear their uncle, their aunt, their mom, their cousin.
Right.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
And if we give them that as a part of the experience, that's for us, that's payment and reward right there.
Yep.
Well, it'd be really interesting because Bosworth Hall, the hotel that we have the festival at, is actually a haunted location, and we have investigated it quite a few times.
It's beautiful.
So not only have
It
we
is a
got
beautiful
an
place.
investigation which is away from the hotel on the Thursday, you're also, even if you're in your room, you could like just use it just in your room and see what you pick up. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
We do that
everywhere. We do it.
I'm sure you do.
It doesn't matter. Here's our requirements. We need 2 chairs, a table, and a power outlet to plug in.
Mhm.
That's it.
Because that's another
We're
thing.
done.
Wherever we go, it doesn't matter if the place is haunted or not. We get voices.
Yeah, and that's another
Voices
concept
everywhere.
that we like to bring to the educational part is just because you can get anomalous voices does not a haunted location make. It is an aspect possibly of it, but we can get them anywhere. We do our home studio, we record weekly. So yeah, it's not enough to call a place haunted, but if the place is haunted, oh yeah, it's going to be fun.
But we're actually spoiling you next year because we're taking you on an evening trip. So just before the festival starts, we are going on a small investigation at the Justice Galleries in Nottingham. And I don't know if you've seen any images or read about the location, but it is truly incredible. It's just the most beautiful place, and it's so active there as well. It's the only place I've ever brought something home from. It's a really weird place. So you'll love it in there. It's great. They have the pits that they dug out hundreds of years ago where they just throw all the paupers in and they just left them there to die. It's
Wow.
just epic. You will really love it there.
I've never done it either. So
Spoiler
Oh,
alert,
okay.
sorry, yeah, it's a very good
Wow.
location, but keep going back. I can't stop going, so I'm really thrilled that we're going. So we're doing that on the Thursday? Is that Thursday?
Thursday.
Yep, so
Thursday.
Thursday evening we're going on the investigation. Then Friday we're going on a tour. So our historian is doing a tour. And then on what happens? What day is that? I've lost track.
That's Friday. So
That's
on
Friday.
Friday we go on a
Please,
history
Karen.
tour. Okay, I'll carry on. So on
Thank
Friday,
you.
so on a Friday, we like to do something different. So on a Friday,
Mhm.
we do a coach trip. We go on a history tour. So it's not about paranormal or anything else. It's purely a history day, basically. And then Friday evening, we then, after you got sorted, we have 2-course dinner, and then we have the amazing Cindy Kaiser doing a gallery. I'm a little bit excited. Doing a gallery reading on the Friday evening for us. And then Saturday we've got our speakers, we've got our talks, we've got our exhibitors, we have vendors as well. So we have store holders, we have vendors. Then Saturday night we've got we're having a red carpet gala. So that's our theme for our party next year. But before the party gets started, we are actually doing festival awards. They're not your normal paranormal awards that everybody expects. These are festival awards, so they're a little bit of a laugh at ourselves, maybe some of our guests. So yeah, it's all a bit of fun, basically. The festival awards are, so we're doing that too on the Saturday night. And then on Sunday we've got all our vendors again, and we've got all our other talks that are going on. So it's going to be a jam-packed, pre-packed 3 nights, 3 days.
Sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah, and if need be too, we've had I don't know if we could travel with it, but we could certainly buy one and ship it if we needed to. We have a power bank thing too. If any of these places don't have available electricity to plug into, since we're using a software-based filtration system, we can get a portable or like a power battery thing that you can use for power outages, whatever. Plug in, and we can run for hours off of that if need be.
I've
If the
got one of
place has
those.
power,
I have one. We're good. I have one.
Okay, good.
we have it too. I've never taken it on a plane before.
Can you?
I don't know. I mean, if it's not
Yeah.
LED or not LED, whatever.
LED. I know, lithium.
Lithium, that's it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. But that's all we need. 2 chairs, a table, and a power source. Boom. Staticom. That's why I cut my hair short.
We
Cut
can
out
make
like-
that happen.
We can make that happen. No problem.
Absolutely.
That's it.
So is there anything in particular that you'd be interested in seeing or doing whilst you're in the UK? Is there anybody you're interested, other than Karen and I? Is there anybody you're excited about
Obviously.
meeting?
Well, I'm excited to meet the guests
Yeah.
because there's a couple of them that I've never met Cindy. We've never met Cindy Kaiser.
Crossed paths before.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Daryl. We crossed paths a
Yeah.
few times, and we finally got to work with him.
So we're definitely, excited about your guests that we haven't met. You guys, we're excited to meet you guys in person. That's going to be great.
the guests of the festival, meeting both of you. The people who attend is always big to us, because especially when we had the opportunity to run Staticom, like she said, a lot of times we get personal things for the people who are there, and that's the best. We do the New Jersey Para-Unity Expo. We're doing it in a couple weeks here in Woodbridge, New Jersey. And we did closed door Staticom or direct radio sessions for people. And the next day, messages. My brother-in-law passed away in a motorcycle accident a year and a half ago. This is him saying his name in his voice. And I don't know his voice, but if you have it, send it to me. I recorded also. And we encourage people to record. We will do it when we're there.
Mhm.
Phones with memo apps, recorders, whatever you have, because you'll still hear some stuff later. But because we slow down the white noise in real time, you will hear a lot more than you might expect. And then sure enough, the guy's name was on the recording. We've had it happen for several people. There's a documentary series, 3 parts. It's on a streaming service called Paraflix. It's taken from the slug line of my second book, which is called my first book, rather, called Knowingly Talking to the Unknown. And we explain with our partners, Tony and Sri Rathman, the evolution of Staticom and how it came from the European method of direct radio voice. So you can see there some of the evidence clips that we've been able to compile from the Shanley Hotel where GTI went. We have a clip that's 1 minute and 8 seconds of the same voice on a rant.
It's crazy.
It's called Damnation.
Yeah.
I've never seen a ghost box do that by methodology. I don't know if it can because of the sweep.
That one was before we did just we were using the radio still in the Baron channel.
That's correct. Yep.
Right.
Before the generator of white noise.
Before
Yep.
the generator of white noise, yeah.
So
But we do hear a lot in real time.
I feel like that we should extend the festival for a couple of days and just give you 48 hours. Just pop you up there for 48 hours and
Listen, I'll
I
be
just I
calling
don't
into
think we're
work
gonna
sick from there. I'll be back in a few
He'll
months.
take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
No, we do go a bit rogue at times, but no, I think it's something that, well, it's definitely something we've not seen in the UK before. And
Mhm.
if you kind of look at what's happening in the UK, we seem to be a little bit static. With we're a bit sort of stationary with our technology and the way
Mhm.
that we're thinking, and maybe it's
Here
because
too.
it's because I think we're surrounded by so much history. We're always looking at what there was historically rather than how
Mhm.
we can reach out and communicate. So to have you come aboard, to come on board and join us at the festival and explain to people and show people exactly what it is you've got and open up some minds and try something new. I think I'm so excited about it, and I'm so
Mhm.
grateful that you're coming. So thank you both.
Yeah,
Ah,
thank
we're
you.
Thank you.
we're excited for the opportunity to be able to do that. That's we feel the same thing here. The people who do ITC, the Ghost Box Builders in the States, these people are brilliant. These are brilliant people. But we feel from what we've discovered that when Frank Sumption made the Frank's box, and before that was a software guy named Stefan Bayan who had a randomization of recorded vocals to create what now the sweeping radio does, right? Fragment randomizing. Um, we feel like once that took root, and it does work, those boxes absolutely work. That became synonymous with ITC, and then everything since then has been like reinvention
Lost.
of the wheel. Like you have the rim, you have the wheel, and people are putting different spinners and lights
Right.
and spokes and styles, and it's reshaping of that one thing, but the push beyond that, other than like echo and spring reverb and to slow it down had not been done. To look at the fact that it's just the white noise, it's not really anything to do with the vocals from the sweep at all, or we would not have gotten voices below the surface of the earth in a zinc mine. Um,
Mm.
so we're hoping that in the opening of minds part, we can also maybe start forward thinking
Right.
with the field with that, because ITC's been in the same place for about 20 something years.
Here as well. I think a happy medium between the two, right? With the technology and the histories of the wall and what you feel as well intuitively.
Yep.
I think a happy medium there is where we should be looking at,
Yeah.
but always be open to new things. That's the thing that people get stuck in just one thought and they don't want to look elsewhere. And it's always good to be open-minded and try different things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely agree. Because you find that some love a bit of tech, some like to go and use their senses, others go in with a purely historic. That's it. It's all scientific. It's all history, and it's all the same thing. We're all trying to find the same thing, and
Right.
it kind of drives me nuts a little bit. So, it'd be nice to see a change, a shift a little bit, see a little bit of a
Yeah,
shift,
mush it
and
all
see
together.
everybody
Mush it
working
all
together.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw it together.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really, really have loved meeting
Thank
you
you.
at last in person, looking face to face. It's great. You're not in a car dropping out.
No.
No.
So what we'll do is, if you don't mind, we're going to pop you backstage in just a few minutes because we can have a bit of a natter afterwards because we like you too much to say goodbye. So we're just going to do the boring bit now. So thank you both so much, and
Yeah,
please come
thank
back
you.
and speak to us again before the festival for a bit of a
Anytime.
catch up. Thank you both
Yeah.
so
Anytime.
much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Whatever we can
you.
do.
Thank
We
you.
encourage
See you
people to
soon.
come to the festival. So yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you in a minute. I love them so much. I love
Oh,
them.
I'm so glad I finally got to meet them because I've only got to hear about them from you, and now I've got to meet. I'm I'm excited anyway, but I'm even more excited now.
I've learnt a
I
valuable
can
lesson
listen
this
to him
year.
for hours.
No. So the key is always listen to Daryl when he gives advice. So he was like, you have to get these people. They're just, they're setting America on light with this. They love them over there in the States. You've got to get them in. It's like, yeah, okay, I will. And yeah, look, I'm so excited. And
I
it's
know.
just something so different for us as well. It's where it's not, we have lots of paranormal investigators, we have psychic mediums. And now look at this. Groundbreaking evidence. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
And do you know what? It's so interesting because I'm not. I'm doing it wrong. I'm into tech, but because I don't understand a lot of it, and because I'm so used to always using my own senses and doing my mediumship for so many years, it's only since I've really been working with you for the last, 2-3 years that I've actually started using equipment rather than using myself. So I'm getting more and more interested. So I could sit and listen to him for hours. Honestly, it's really interesting.
Well, we can the backstage. We can.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. We left the back. Yeah, too busy got us. But yeah, guys, if you haven't got your tickets already, then head over to the website and get them. Did you want to speak to everybody about anybody that doesn't know about what tickets there are?
Yep, of course, she's busy typing away. So if you do want to join us at the festival next year, we've got an incredible lineup and we still have more to announce. You are going to see, actually, after speaking to the guests we've just announced, we've actually got 2 things that you'll never have seen in the UK before. We can't announce the second one just yet because we haven't announced that lineup yet. But if you want to grab some tickets to see something really spectacular, head to festivaltheunexplained.com. We have 2 ticketing options for you. So the first one is the angelic package. The VIP angelic package gets you everything. It gets you access to everything except the investigation on Thursday night. That is an additional add-on, which can be purchased through our next ticketing option, which is the create your own package. There you can pick and choose what it is you want to do, whether you just want to come for one day or you want to come to the party, or you'd like to go on the investigation and maybe the Sunday and have a bit of a spa day. So you get to choose what package you would like to do, what activity you'd like to do. So head over to festivaltheunexplained.com and choose your own package. It's quite easy. It's all step by step. And if you do get stuck, please message us. One of us is always online.
Yeah, contact us anytime. We're always available. And also, for anybody that hasn't seen it as of yet, yet again, on the website, on the venue page, is the promo code for your accommodation at Bosworth Hall Hotel next year. So
You're
the
welcome.
promo code's available. What are you going to say?
No, I just said you're welcome for the code because
Oh.
we managed to negotiate some cheap prices, didn't we? We got some cheaper
We
prices.
did, yes.
So
we
you're all
put,
welcome.
so we got you another good deal next year for the hotel accommodation. And anyone that's unsure or concerned about booking their accommodation, just so you know, you do not have to book your hotel accommodation. Do not have to pay for your hotel accommodation on booking. That's what I'm trying to say. You can actually pay at a later date, or you can pay on check-in when you arrive. So I know a lot of people have spoken to me and said, "Oh, I'm really concerned I'm not going to get a room next year because I can't afford to pay for it right now." Don't panic. Just book it, and you can pay for it at a later date. So I think that's everything. Thanks ever so much for joining us.
Yep. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, everybody.
Saturday.
Oh my God, I'm having a mare today, aren't I?
We're definitely going now. Rachel thinks it's Sunday already. Thank you, everybody. Speak to you all soon. And look out on the Facebook page for our next announcement.
Woohoo! See you later, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Sunday.